questions? Yes, sir. All right. Anyone else like to testify? Don't see any hands.
Testimony you're about to give, do you solemnly swear to tell us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Good evening. My name is Commision. I'm the Housing Post Office Box Wild Idaho Rising Tide. I wanted to talk about, well, first thing I want to talk about is I hear Mr. Payette talking, and it's very interesting to me that it seems like his capacity as an attorney, he sure has his iron in a lot of fires, and I think that's probably because there are things that he hasn't been forthcoming about with us, including the fact that he's vice president for Alta Mesa. And I, for one, find it offensive that we have yet to hear that he has financial ties in addition to getting his check from Alta Mesa. And speaking of financial ties, the other thing I wanted to bring up this evening, and I've said through so many of these public hearings now, I have yet to hear any member on that commission who has leased, and there are numerous ones of you, admit that. And talk about the fact that you leased and you stand to gain financially. So I think the public has a right to know that when you're making decisions that you might ultimately profit from, and there is no disclosure, that is offensive to me as a Payette County citizen. And quite frankly, I am just beyond the understanding why legal counsel hasn't brought that to your attention yet, quite frankly. Now what I'd like to do is read from the minutes from the Highway Department. Mr. Payette, I remember him talking about the 4 truck trips at the most that the Fisher facility was going to have, and I'm looking at the minutes from the July 8th meeting where they're talking about 10 trucks, Alta Mesa representatives, 10 trucks, over twice what they were talking about. The exact same thing that's happening with this facility when he stood here and told you that it was just going to be a little facility, wasn't going to create a lot of power, a lot of noise. Yeah, we lease this other acreage, but we're not going to do anything with it for years to come, and here we're back here less than a year away. The other thing I want to let you guys know, I pulled a copy of the tax assessor's bill on that property. It's still being taxed to the ag ground. We're paying for the damage to the roads, and here's a little bit of discussion from the August minutes. There was some discussion that the board would like a written signed agreement with Alta Mesa that they would repair any excessive damage to the roads that the trucks would cause. Ryan asked how the bridge would hold up, at which time Dale said that we need to sign the bridge at 25 miles per hour for trucks and include a weight limit of 80,000 pounds. Alta Mesa's trucks are going to be 75 foot long, but we don't have a 12-foot lane in the curve, therefore it would be possibly tracking onto the shoulder. Do we want to build it up with gravel or asphalt? Dale said that he would rather use gravel. It was discussed that all this needs to be done before they start hauling. Dale said he would contact Wade with Alta Mesa, the board's decision, and get something in writing for an agreement for them to repair damages that the trucks may cause. Ryan mentioned to make sure it says excessive damage, and Dale said that it would. Going back to the June minutes, Kathy asked who would pay for all of this. Dave suggested that we handle it the same way we do with 12,000-pound trucks and have the company pay for it. The clerk, down a bit later, then said that if this would require building the roads up to handle the trucks, then we would need this information next month when we set the budget for next year. She also stated that when Bridge Energy was involved, we were going to have to build up the roads for them, and that Bert, our attorney, said that we wouldn't be able to charge Bridge Energy 100% of the cost to build up the roads, but that we would be able to charge a certain percentage, which would probably be the same situation for Alta Mesa. I, as a taxpayer, am tired of externalizing, having this company externalize all of their costs to Payette County taxpayers. I find it offensive. I think everybody in this room should find it offensive, and I think if you guys are going to let them play here, by God, they need to pay to do it. Thank you. By God, I believe in God.
Okay, any questions for Ms. Hassey? Thank you. Next.